All right, party people. This your man Griff on a Saturday here, just about 1 o'clock, the 17th of May, 2025. Here's just a straight up reason why people can't handle being a mobile notary. And they don't tell you this. They don't tell you that you're going to be faced with these things. They don't tell you that they have problems with it. But this is what's going on. To be a mobile notary, you literally have to see people at their most vulnerable point in their life or of the day. You have to see people in their home, ultra relaxed, dressed however. Sometimes the husband and wife are arguing. Sometimes the partners are arguing. The kids are fussing. They're cooking. They tell you to come at a time that they're actually having breakfast. I've actually sat there with people while they're having breakfast. Why would they have me come at that time? That's just what they did. At dinner time, you have people, when you go to their house, they have no kitchen table. They have no dining room table. They don't even have a couch to sit on. You go to people's homes that have all kinds of smells in it. And you have to deal with that to get the job done. I'm not judging anybody for how their home is. I'm not saying that it's bad or good. All I'm saying is their home is their home. And they're opening their doors up for you to come in there and to assist them with getting something done financially for them. And I understand that a lot of people have issues with that, because that's not what you expect when you got into this business, that you will walk into somebody's house and it smells like a cigar lounge, or it smells like somebody got 5 and 6, animals done pooped and peed in the house. That's what you got to deal with. So you can sit here all you want and worrying about how much you understand the documents and do you know the documents and all of that kind of mess. And you can spend not even just spend, but waste all your time and money trying to learn that. But then when you get out here in the field and you're dealing with somebody's home that is in the state that may not be on the level that you think it should be, can you stay focused and get the job done? And many of you can't. And you know what they do? They run to be educators and teachers and all of that kind of stuff, because some people are a little too stuck up within themselves, and they can't accept the fact that people are going through things in this life, and they need somebody that can put aside their own personal preferences of, well, I like things to be this way and that way, and just go in there and help the person out where they're at. Meet them where they're at. And then what's sad is that a lot of people who have the hardest time dealing with that are the same folk that'll sit there on Sunday morning and talk about God meet me where I'm at. Jesus meet me where I'm at. I'm just so thankful that the Lord met me where I'm at. But then you can't meet the persons that you're going to serve where they're at. You want them to clean up and this, that, and the other. You want them to not be at their house and all of that kind of stuff. You see all kinds of stuff. That's why it's so hard for many of you to actually do this business, because you can't get out of your own way. You can't get out of your own whatever and realize that, okay, I got to work with these people where they're at. They got kitchen table and they got a dining room table, but they got so much stuff in their house that you can't put, they don't have any place for you to put the papers. You can't sit there because they got table but no chairs. They got chairs but no table. Can you deal with all of that? That's the question. Can you honestly handle being around somebody when they're at their most vulnerable state, when they're most relaxed, in their home, dressed in certain types of ways? Walk in there to meet this couple, and all she got on is a bathrobe, and he got on nothing but some shorts and no shirt. And they want to sit there and sign documents in front of you like that. And she don't even have her robe pulled all the way together. Can you handle that? Can you handle somebody sitting there and then all of a sudden they decide to breastfeed in front of you while signing documents? Yeah. Can you deal with that? Can you deal with, as a young lady, good looking man come out all glistening with sweat and all of that kind of stuff from working out in the garage, while his wife is sitting there and she's with me and she's just looking at you, waiting for you to glance your eyes up and down him, and vice versa for women who come and the men, they come. Can you deal with? See, that's the problem. They don't tell you that in your $500 I'm gonna be a notary signing agent, loan signing agent class. They don't tell you that kind of stuff. They don't talk to you about that, but that's what's going on out here. They don't tell you that you get there to the house and the person don't like you. They don't care for you because you're black. They don't care for you because you don't have the same sexual orientation as them. They don't tell you that. You're sitting there with a same-sex couple and you can tell one of them got issues with you because they think some kind of way about you, because you're not even saying anything about what their situation is, but they just got some negative impact against you. You sitting there with a couple that's of a mixed race couple, and they got an attitude towards you, and you're sitting here like, I ain't even said nothing but how y'all doing, and you can tell they got an attitude towards you. See, they don't tell you about that kind of stuff. That's why many of you have a hard time, because when the reality of this business sets in, you're like, oh heck no, I ain't got time for this. I don't put up with nobody. And people can be very, very disrespectful. You can tell they don't trust you, because guess what? They're getting $100,000 back out of a home equity line of credit, and they want their bank account information, and they don't want to write it down because they don't want you to see their bank account information. They say, just mail me the check. Who gets a $100,000 check mailed to them? See, you're not told about that kind of stuff. They don't talk to you about that kind of stuff in these classes or in these mentor sessions. They don't do that. They just get your money and leave you out there to figure it out. And none of what they're teaching you prepares you for this. I try to share with y'all the reality of this business, and many of you gloss over it, because I'm not sitting up here telling you the 17 ways to make money, the 18 ways to get $1 out of a turnip, all that kind of stuff. I'm not telling you that kind of stuff because it don't matter if you can't handle the reality of what you walk into when you go into somebody else's home. When you walk on somebody else's job and you're going to sign, and you're seeing people in a light that you didn't think you would see them in. You go to their home and then they got their kids running all over the daggone place. They got their minor daughters running around dressed like, okay, why are you dressed like that? You got company coming over. You got company coming over, but you dress like that. And then you got the parents looking at you like, don't you look at my daughter. I ain't trying to look at you. I'm trying to get you to sign the paperwork. Y'all more concerned about that than telling the child to put the daggone clothes on or stay in the room. See, they don't tell you that at $500. I don't know how much money you got to spend with them to be told that. But clearly it ain't $500. You must got to be spending a whole lot more in order to be told that truth about the business. Now, if you've been taught that in your $500 class, which some people go on the line and say they have, put a 1 in the chat if you have. If you haven't been taught that, then put a 2 in the chat. Because if you weren't taught that, that means you found out about it once you got out there in the real world of notary business. And the ones who succeed in this business are the ones who adapt and adjust to the crap that they come across. And they don't allow somebody's prejudice toward them, whatever that prejudice may be. People don't even care. Some people got an issue with me being a man. I've been told, oh, I thought only women do this business. I've had men sit there and belittle me because I'm doing the notary. Oh, so you just one of them little notary people, huh? Just getting $5 a stamp or something like that. Yeah, and then I gotta flex and be like, no, I make this kind of money. Now, do I need to tell them? Do I have to tell them? Am I obligated? Nah. But at the same time, you're not gonna disrespect me, dog. Okay, you think I ain't making no money? Okay, here's what I'm bringing in. This is what I do. And then the dude's wife look at him like, see, you just shut your daggone mouth up. Stop disrespecting people. Because you got some punk dudes out there that's like that. That will put you down in front of their spouse to belittle you and to try to make themselves look good. They don't tell you that. You got wives out there that's like, so your wife is okay with you doing this kind of work? You got people talking to you like that out here in this business, and you have to be mature enough. Yeah, I said mature enough, not mature, I know, to handle that and to keep your eyes on the prize, knowing that, hey, I'm in a business and I'm doing something that they can't do for themselves. So yeah, you can cop an attitude with me and I can bounce and you won't get no daggone money. You get too wild, you get too funky. But this is the reality of it. Now, I'm just sharing this because, it's just been on my heart and I've been wanting to talk about this. Ain't nothing bad happened today or nothing like that. Everything's been great. But I just wanted to share that with y'all because a lot of y'all are coming back into business. A lot of y'all are coming into the business for the first time. And you're thinking that, if I take this class, I take that class, everything's going to be fine. And I'm going to make all this money. And I'm going to and then the reality of everything that I just shared with you snap you in the face like a wet dish rag. And then you start having all kind of panic attacks and you have all kind of conniptions and all that kind of stuff. Because the reality is you weren't built for this. You weren't built for people to deal with you like this. Because you're coming into this business like, this is a professional organ. This is a professional job. I'm a notary and, these are important papers and da. And you give people simple instructions. Please sign your full name as it said. Here's the instructions that said that. And then also date with the year 2025, not just 25. And then they just ignore everything you say and do. I'm going to do what I want. You're just a notary. Hey, title company, you need to talk to them because they don't want to follow your instructions. Yes, the notary told you what to do and you should have done what the notary said. So we're going to have to cancel the order because you would not sign the documents the way the notary said. So therefore, we'll just have them come back. But, no, I'm sorry. And you're going to lose your rate lock. I've had that happen because these folk that you're meeting sometimes, they get beside themselves and they think they know more about how to do what you do than you do. But if you don't learn what you need to do and you come across like you skittish and scared all the daggone time, they will bum rush you and take over the signing. But they don't prepare you for that. All right, let me go. Talk to y'all later. Peace.